All right. Are we guys? Are we there? Are we all there? I mean, I don't sleep. Do you love me? Do you love me? Vote for APC. All right, let's move on, please. All right. So, switch statement, right? So, like I say, is used to perform different tasks based on different condition, right? So it used to perform tasks based on what different condition. And what this different condition is like, let's say we want to check if today is Wednesday, or maybe today is Sunday, it should perform a particular task. So this is how we write switch statement. This is how we write our switch statement. So when it come, you write switch. So we have this that will generate multiple switch for you. So we are not going to be looking at this. So we explain all this code, how it works, one line by line. We'll go it line by line and make sure that you understand what the switch statement is. So I would also like you to look at this as well, right? You notice that this. So let's get rid of this. Now we have switched. So in this switch statement, we have this, right? Now, and then we have this. So this is where we add what we call key. So what key is used for is a variable to evaluate the condition, right? A variable to evaluate what? The condition. So this is used to compare whatever you are passing here. So in that switch statement, we have so the first one here, we have what we call case, right? We have case. So in this case, so this case will be used to evaluate whatever that is here. Let's say what is here is 10, right? 10. So this is 10. Like I told you, this is 10. So this is what we use to evaluate the condition. So here is where we check the case. We check each of the case if it matches whatever that is coming up here. So whatever that is here, we will use to check if this thing is here is equal to what is here. So let's say case, I have 1, right? In that case that I have 1, this is case. So this is used. This case is used to compare whatever is here. Let's say if whatever is here is equal to whatever is here, that means something should happen. But if whatever is here is not equal to whatever is here, it should stop running this code. If whatever is here is equal to whatever is here, it should confirm, then stop running what? The code. Let me show you guys something. Then if whatever is here is equal to whatever is here, you can say console.log yes, this is 10, right? Yes, this is what? 10. Yes, this is true. The number is what? Is 10, right? Like I said, this is what we use to evaluate the case. So the case means that if we use whatever is inside the case to compare whatever is here. So if it is true, if it's Emeka, if the case Emeka is here, then you should say, okay, the number is 10. Then if it is true that whatever is in this case is what is the same thing with this, then stop running the code, right? Stop what? Running what? The code. Use what we call break. So now, like I told you, let me explain this again. The break statement is used to exit the switch statement once the case is matched, right? So this man is used to stop this statement. So if this is true, right? If what is here is true, then this will exit the code. We'll start running the code. But if it's not true, it now move to the next person. Are you getting me? If it's not true, it now move to the what? To the next person. We check this. Of course, this is false. It will leave this, then now move to this one. So let's have 2 here. So if this case 2 is equal to what is here, then say yes, this is 10, right? If it's not, if it is true, then break the code. If it is not, move to the next code, to the next condition. Let's do that until we get 10. So let this 10 is too much. Let's just move this to 5, please, or 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So moving to 3, 4, 5. All right. So if this is not the same, because this is not 10, right? You can see this is not equal to 10, right? Of course, which is true. Okay, let me just copy this. Copy this. Copy this. Copy this. So let's leave the 5. All right. This should be 5, not 10. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. All right. So we look at this code. Let me go to this line by line again. So we have switch statement here. Then we have the statement we use to evaluate, right? So to evaluate if whatever, this is the condition, if whatever is here is equal to this, it should run this code and then exit the code. If it is not, which is true, it move to the next person, which is true, it move to the next person, which is true, it move to the next person. And if all these conditions are not true, are you getting me? If all these conditions are not true, so in case if all these conditions are not true here, right, it can then print what we call default, right? Print what we call what? Default. So here we say default, right? Then console.log no such number in this page. Yeah. Change over. So now I hope you guys understand this code. Let me go and run the code so that you grab. All right. So let's quickly connect to here. So here will be switch, right? Then let's move on here. Good and fine. Right click. This on this. This on this. Now, so when you look at what happened here is that yes, this is true, right? Yes, this is true. The number is what? Is 5. So have you seen what happened here? This is true. The number is 5. So all right, let's go guys. So this is what switch statement does. So if you come here and say we have 9 here, of course you notice that we have no such number, right? No such number in this you notice that we have no such number in this case. So basically what if statement does, like I explained earlier, right? So it used to perform different action based on different condition. So we can see we provide different condition, right? So let me explain again. This man who used to evaluate whatever is here. So if whatever is here is equal to whatever is here, it should print is true and click or break. So basically this is how switch statement work. Let's build. So it's very simple application. So this application we are going to build is very simple. So I'll just be very fast on that. So it's very simple. Okay, let me not just build. I think this will also help us. Let me give you guys assignment. Hey, President, are you there? Let me give assignment, please. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So based on this if statement, right? Like, sorry, the switch statement we just did. Remember, whatever you pass it, this can be variable, this can be a variable, this can be a variable. So that can be a variable. All these things there can be variables. Anything at all. It doesn't need to be numbers. So it can be variable. All of them can be variable. So this is it. Write a program that checks the days of the week. If hold on. I think that is not the assignment. Okay, now this is it. Write a quiz application. So this quiz application need to know this quiz application is going to be a guess application. You list out the all the list of all presidents since 1960, and then when you run the app, it will ask you what is the age of so president. So for instance, when you type, if you come out the age of Olusegun Obasanjo, for instance, you type, maybe it's type or what year. Okay, let's choose year. What year? The birth year of Olusegun Obasanjo. If you type maybe 1997 or 1982 or 1993, it should compare with your own age you have in your code. So you need to get their correct age. If you get that, it should run the code. Then we move on to the next one. Are you getting me? What year was Obasanjo born? 1992. What year was Yar'Adua born? 1990 this. What year was Tinubu born? 1998. So after the end of all the exams, each question you answer, you are getting a score of 10%. So anyone you fed, you not get a score on that. So after when you are done answering those responses. Then the entire score will now be displayed by percentage. And then the question that you felt you didn't answer very well, you will see them there. So let me repeat, we're going to build a GEX or a quiz application. So this app should run on prompt. Use prompt to run this application. You are required to use prompt to run this application. So this is how it works. When you open the prompt, you will see like alert that will say what is the name of, or the what is the date, the birthday of Olusegun Obasanjo. If you have a column to answer, 1990 or 1960. So when you click on 1960 and enter, it asks another question until when you are done responding to all the 10 questions or 5 questions, depends on how many presidents we have. Then when that is done, your score will now be displayed on your HTML code. So before you come, they ask you your username. When you ask your username, you record that person's username. Then cohort. These are when you come to the app, click your username, cohort. You record your username, cohort, and your passcode. These are the things he will record first. Then after you have done submitting those, next pop-up is to start answering the quiz. The question: what year? What was the year, birth year of President Buhari? You respond 1992. If the year is correct with the one you have on your code, then we'll give him a 10% score. If it's not correct, it will give them 0. Then after you are done, it will sum up all this score and then print out your score for you and your code and a passcode. So this is going to be same with other project, individual project, call good project, but submit individually. So you submit the code individually. So basically, but let's build one app. Let's just do one app, an app that can check days of the week, right? And then check days of the week and then print that days of the week. So, Mr. President, do you have any other question? Mr. President?
No, sir. That one is clear.
Okay, those are our questions. Hold on. When I'm done with this thing, what's that called? The app we are about building, the days of a week. So the app will check days of the week, and then of course we'll now print. Today is Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. Just hold on a minute. Let me put on my this thing. You're taking the light again. Okay, all right, let's go. So what we are going to write a program that check the days of the week. So the days of the week. So let's quickly do that. All right. So before we move on to the next topic tonight, all right, I'm only going to, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to write this code. So I will write this code. So here we are going to initialize a variable. Let's initialize the variable day. So today's day is Sunday, which is it the 1 or the 7? Is it the 1 or the 7? People of God. The 1, right? Yeah?
Day one. Day one.
Okay. So then week. The 1. Then initialize another variable. weekdays. Right, so I'm not going to let terminate. Please always terminate your project, very important. Okay, here we are going to pass in day here. Day. So we are going to say switch day. Then we say 1. Then that one we pass in the weekdays. So you can say weekdays equals to today is Sunday. So break. So 2. So 2 weekdays Monday 3 Tuesday move to the next, move to the next one, move to the next one, done. Bye. So 5 should be Thursday. So next one weekday. Today is Friday. This is 6. Because Saturday.
Line 24 needs W. Line 24 needs W.
Right, yeah, sing it. Thank you. Today is Saturday. Alright, so this is how to evaluate. This can be dynamic. So how to evaluate? Of course, this will only print today is Sunday. Of course, today is Sunday. Alright, of course, this will print today is Sunday. Have we connected the switch statement? Done that. Let me reload this. Okay, sorry. I think we need to print this out. Alright, so let's quickly print this out and see what's going to happen. Let's quickly print it out, print it out. So we just need to print console.log outside this thing. Console.log. So today is okay. Let's just pass this here. Let's just pass in week, right? Week. So this week now is, remember this variable now you used to assign all this, right? To assign all this. So let's quickly go back there. You see that today is what? Is Sunday. So those that have questions, please Your question before I move to the next. So we've done this, we've done this, we've done this. Next is for loop. Then we'll do master and we'll call it a day. So who have the question, please? Question, no time. Questions? President, no question?
No question, yes, sir.
Okay, let's move on, please. We'll move on to the next. So, yes, is for loop. All right. For loop. Why do we even need for loop? So I'll quickly call on a student to come and share his brain on what for loop is all about. Give us a brief explanation on for loop. Yeah. For loop. Okay, before we do that, please. Before we do that for loop, let's do mass. Please, mass before we move to for loop, because the project, the app we are going to be building. Okay. All right. The app we are going to be building will be needing. Okay, just. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go to for loop. Let's just go to for loop. Let's go to for loop. All right. Who will help us? Student. All right.
That guy, go ahead.
For loop, we use for loop to iterate over our data in an array or object. What I'm saying is that with the use of for loop, we can go through the index of our array one after the other to perform one operation or the other.
Okay. All right. That is nice. Any other person? Another person? Yeah?
Okay, Mr. Shedra, go ahead. Mr. Shedra, are you there?
Yes, we can.
Go ahead, sir. Shedra, we can't hear you. Mayor, go ahead.
Okay. For using the for loop, if we have a list of items and we plan to perform any task on each of those items, we use for loop to iterate over all of those items in our list. For example, for the first item, you console.log it. That for loop, as it's a loop, it goes through the second, goes through the third, and it does that same thing you have said it should do for each of those items.
Okay. I think that is very detailed, very self-explanatory there. Let's move on. Hold on. So let me deploy this at once. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let me just I don't want all this network wahala. Alright. Let me show you guys one of the functionality of for loop. How we use the for loop in real application. So let's set it to van. Set it to v, and is it van we are setting? So script activate cd dot dot cd dot python run server. Is it enter python run server. So okay, our server is running. Alright, let's really check that out. Okay, right, so let me add to cart here. Right now, if you look at here, right, I have not just one item. So whenever I have items that are multiple, 2, 3 and more, when you have items that are multiple, you need loop to be able to work on this individual. So each of these items are in a cart. So for me to get the price of each of these items, I need to use loop. So I iterate inside this item. I can say item dot amount, item dot quantity, item dot delete, item dot refresh. So the loop statement or loop function will go into an object repeatedly until a certain condition is met. So I need to go into this product. Then I also need to go into it to calculate individually. For you to calculate this individually, you need to use word loop. To loop them using the word, their key product ID. So this is what, for us to get this individually, to get their payment, it is done using the loop. It is done using what? The loop. So what we are going to do here is we are going to learn how we can initialize loop. So like I explained earlier, loop in JavaScript is used to execute a block of code repeatedly, right, until a certain condition is met. So we have several loop, right? We have several word loop in JavaScript. So we have, first we have for loop. We have for loop, right, which we are going to use the word for it. So now the for loop, of course, you use when you know how many times you want to execute a code. Now a for loop consists of 3 optional parameters, right? 3 optional word parameters. Let me explain. I'll explain that further. Now to write a for loop, you just need to do this for. Then I will explain all this line by line so that you understand. So don't bother. Are you getting me? Don't bother. I will come to this. So this is how a for loop look like. So this is how it look like. I know it's a bit confusing. Let me comment on it. So we have while. Now a while, which is this, while, as the name implies, while 9 is greater than 4, it should do something, right? So while loop is used when you want to execute a block of code while a specific condition is true, right? When a condition is true, let's say while age is greater than 4, do something until that age is lesser than 4. You can say why age is lesser than 2. Do something on the age is lesser than 2. Let's say, for instance, somebody who is 17 years is not permitted to do some certain things in Nigeria. You can just go why age is lesser than 18. Why age is lesser than 18? Keep doing it until age is greater than 18. Then when age is greater than 18, then stop. So that is why loop. That look this way. This way. While a condition here is true, keep doing something. Right? So I'm also going to share with you guys, we have do loop as well. For loop, but the most popular one we are using is what? Is for loop. So is for loop. That's the most popular one we are using. Is for loop. So let me quickly move on to the for loop. In that for loop, this is what we are going to do. Quickly. Now, the first thing we need to do, we have for. Right? In this for, then we have this, and then we have this. So now what's happening here is that inside this we have what we call initialization. So initialize right? So first one we have initialize. So this is how the initialize look like. Sorry. Initialize simply means to initialize a variable equals to 1, right? A variable I equals to 1 or I equals to 0. So that's what it means initialize. So this initialization we use as a condition when you are trying to create your parameter. This is where you set up an initial condition or a value for the loop to start running. So this is where you set up, or this is where you initialize a value before the loop to start. For the loop to start running, you need to initialize a variable. So that variable now will be used as a condition. That is one. The next one we have here is called condition. We have been using condition. I believe by now we understand what condition means. So this condition, right? So this condition, this is a condition that is used to evaluate before each loop will run. So this will depend that if the condition here is true, something should keep happening until when it's false. So this is the condition we use. Then we have another one which we call increment. Right? Increment. So we are going to do this in real life so you understand how it works. So increment. This is a value that whenever you run this man, it will increment, it will add on this man. So let's quickly write the code, right? Let me write the code. So what we are going to do here is that we say for. Let me comment on this, right? So for, inside this for, we want to initialize a variable. I'm going to say let price, right? Let price equals to 0, right? So I'm creating a variable here saying, okay, let the price equals to 0. So we want to check a price of let's say it can be a pin, can be a price, can be anything at all. I can say pin, let pin equal to 0. So this is just a normal variable. Just like the way you create a variable here, are you getting me? Let name equals to this. It's also the same thing with here. So, but this initialize would use to evaluate the condition before the loop start. Then when you are done with that, you close. The next thing we are going to do is to pass in a condition. You can say pin lesser than, right? Pin lesser than 20. So if pin lesser than 20, of course pin is 0, which is lesser than 20, right?
Anything greater than, sir.
Sorry. If pin is lesser than 20, so this code will start running from 0. So if pin is lesser than 20, something should keep happening. Console.log pin working. Are you getting me? If pin is lesser than what? If the pin have been used like 20 times, right? If the pin have been used like 20 times, pin is working. If pin have not been used more than 20 times, pin is what? Is working. But if you have used more than 20 times, pin is not working. So what happen here is that pin is 0 because they have not been used. So if pin is greater than 20, lesser than 20, which is true, pin will be working. Until pin is greater than this, then pin will stop working. Do you guys understand? Any question? Any question? Let me respond. Look at this code and tell me what you don't understand, please. Are we together? Are we not on sleep?
Yeah, together, sir.
Even though I have 2 persons here, I will still continue teaching. I need to wrap up this class with him. Even if it's 1 person, I will still continue teaching. So, I will be the one that's supposed to be complaining. So, not 2 people. They go work tomorrow too. So, if their work is better than programming, then leave it and go to work. So, my work, this one is better than my work. Let me continue. So, now, let pin is equals to 0. So, the pin is equals to 0. And of course, pin is greater than this. This will keep running. And if you run this, this will crash our code, our browser. Because pin is greater than 0. It will keep running. Then the question is, when will pin be greater than 0? What can we do for pin to be greater than 20? What we need to do is that anytime pin run, we add 1 to pin. Whenever I run, we add 2 to pin. Whenever I run, we add 3 to pin. Whenever I run, we add 4 to pin. Whenever I run, we add 5 to pin. Until pin is greater than this. When pin is greater than 20, the pin is no longer working. Right? Are we together? The pin is no longer working. So, this is it. This is what we are going to do. If you run this code, your code will crash. If you are doubting me, let's run it. So, come here, loop, right, let's go here, and of course, if you come here, you see our browser, this is still loading. Are you getting me? Now, our browser is no longer working. I can't do anything here again. Are you seeing it? Because pin is lesser than 20. It will keep repeating, it will keep running because pin is lesser than 20. Are you getting me? It will keep running until you crash your system. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
My screen, my this thing now has stopped working. So we need to go there and comment on this. So now for us to, anytime we run this code, for us to increase this thing to 1, so what we are going to do is we'll come here and use pin plus. So this plus means that whenever the pin run, it will increase, add 1 here. Whenever you run, you add 2 here. Now let's print pin and see what's going to happen. Hmm? It's a pin is. So what happened here is that whenever, hold on, what happened here, whenever the pin runs, it will say, it will increase this man to 1. So this pin plus plus means that whenever it runs, it will increase this man to 1. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, let me, the thing is really dealing with us. Data type, let me end my this thing. Because of that loop we did that time is affecting my browser. Alright, let's go and on it again, run our server. Alright, so let's come here. So now, please look up. Now this is what I was explaining. So pin run, the first time pin run, which pin is 0, right? Then the first pin to run, when we created the pin is 0. We use the pin. Immediately we use the pin, what happens is that we have used the pin 1 time. Immediately we use the pin 20 times until when the pin is now greater than. When the pin is now greater than what? Than 20, right? The reason why we are seeing 19 here is because of we start counting from 0. So whenever pin runs here, it increments. Whenever pins runs here, increment. Whenever pins runs here, increment. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me do more clarification here. So when you look at this, right? So pin is 0. So if pin is lesser than this, of course, it will now increment until pin is now greater than. Right? On the pin is now what? Is now greater than. So we can say, if this happen, you have used the pin so let's check that and see what's going to happen. So let me add so this is it, right? So you have used the pin 1 time, you have used the pin 2 times, you have used the pin 3 times, you have used the pin 4 times, you have used it 5 times, right? So this is it, right? This is it. So what you use for is that, let me comment on this and use a very simple structure. I can say I is equals to 1. I is greater than 10. Then increment I. Then print I. Let's print the I.
Semicolon.
Yeah. So console the log I. So let's print that out and see. It's almost the same thing. Now here also, if I want this thing to start running from 1, it will skip 0, and also it should also print 10. So what I'm going to do is come here and say equals to. So that means it has to be equals to what? 10. So we do that equals to, it has to run 10, right? It needs to run 10 because 10 and 1 is equals to. Now the I is now 10. Are you getting me? This I now is now 10, which is I equals to 10. So what happened here is that we initialize this 0, then we use it as a condition, which is I is equals to this. If you don't add this, the code will keep running, until when it crashes your system. I'm coming. Just hold on. Let me finish this. So write down your question. Write down your question. So what we are going to do next is let's work with array, right? Let's work with array. So let's go back to where we have a list of stuff. Let's copy this, and come to loop. So here we copy this as profession. Let me close this, then leave on it. So what we are going to do is that now I want to do something. Let's say console.log and log profession, right? So we come to this. You notice that this, look at how it appears, right? What if we want to filter this and remove all the quotation, single quotation, and then list this, filter this to have it as a normal data? You can see this data are not well filtered, right? So what we are going to do is that we are going to loop into this data, right? We are going to loop into this data. So what we are going to do is very simple, right? We'll come here and call our if statement. If, then what we are going to do is that we initialize our let's say value equals to, I'm having this as 1, or you can give it as 0, right? Then what we are going to do is that value lesser than profession. So now lesser than profession, remember profession, when you come to profession here, you notice that, let me comment on this. Now we call it profession here. You notice that the length of profession is 5. So what we are going to do that if the profession length is greater than this 0, then it should print the profession. So what we're going to do is let's come and do this. Value equals to 0 dot length. So we just use dot length. Then we come here, of course, with our increment, value increment. So close this. Then console the log. So what are we logging? So what we are logging here is profession, because profession is the value we are bringing. Then inside that value we now have them by the index, the value. So let's see what's going to happen. Let's comment on this quickly. Okay, let's still leave that. So we use that for testing. So now if you notice here, this item is more filtered than this. This item is more filtered than this. We're able to grab all the item inside profession. So you can write this item in PDF, write it in anywhere, write it to an email, write it to Microsoft Word with your program. So sometimes you notice that when you fill a form, the form will be converted to PDF, right? This is how they do it. They filter those items, because this is how the system will interpret. So filter it and they have all those information. So quickly, what next? I think that is all for the loop. So let's have an assignment we are going to do. So Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is the assignment for the loop. I've told you that the assignment will choke. It's very choky. So throughout this week is assignment. Now one, let's create a simple game using a loop. We will make, all students are required to create a simple game using a loop. Then we'll make a guess number, right? Okay, let me write this. Okay, sure, let's create a simple game using a loop. we will make a guess. We will make a guess the number. So it will be like a guess number game. Now, where the computer generate a random number, a number between 20 to 40. So you create a game using the loop. A number is a computer will generate a random number of 20 from 20 to 40, and the player has to guess the number within the player has to guess the number within a certain number of an attempt. So it means that if the number you are going to guess is between 20 and 40, so you come to the app and type 40. If the number you type is the same with the one the computer generated, right, they will now say a lucky winner. So just like a lottery application, when you come to that app, you type your lottery number. So the lottery number is between 20, from 20 to 40. So 20 to 1, 20 to 3. So the computer will generate a random number from 20 to 40. So the lottery number they will give you from that 20 to 40. So if you enter 40, and 40 is 40 is the number the computer generated at that time, they will say you are now a winner. Congratulations, you have won 100,000. So it is like a lottery game. So when user come to the prompt, they will ask for their code as usual, their code and username. Then they enter the lucky number. They should enter the lucky number. So when they enter the lucky number, this computer will generate a random number between 20 and 40, then and print the number the computer generated and their own number. So if the number the computer generated and your own number is the same, the computer should say congratulations, you have won, or X, the computer should reject you. Now attempts, you can only do 4 attempts. So if you put the number more than 4, right, the number will say the code, you have a message like you have visited the numbers of trial for this code, you should go and buy another one. Do you understand, Mr. President?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's clear.
The president.
It's not clear.
Okay, let me explain. President, can you explain?
Yes. You are asked to generate a guess game. So in the guess game, the computer will generate a number from 20 to 40, and then you have only 4 attempts to guess the lucky number. So as usual, to verify, you have to input your username and cohorts, and then if you guess correctly the computer generated number, the winning is 10,000 naira. If not, the system rejects your entry.
No, the system will ask you to type again. You can only go 4 times.
Yes.
4 times.
Yes. You have only 4 attempts
Yes.
to do it.
So when that is done, when there are 4 attempts, you are completed the 4 attempts. All the number the computer generated will be displayed on the HTML. It has to be well designed. So well designed. Don't do it in terminal. So let's move on to the mass, and we'll call it a day for today. The next one is mass. So let's quickly do mass. Yeah, let's move on to mass, then we'll wrap it up. Alright, the reason why I'm doing mass is because we need to leverage on, I'm even exhausted. We need to leverage on what's it called? We need to leverage on this random. So I will learn how to use random, so that it can help us in generating our stuff. So let's quickly go here to mass. I think if we are covering it, if we are doing like this every week, it should be done with JavaScript the next 2 weeks or so. We have to force, because we keep skipping this or this. We need more time to. All right, so who can explain us mass in JavaScript? I just need somebody who will quickly come and explain mass in JavaScript. All right. Okay, somebody have question. And Presido, that person that wanted to ask question earlier, let him ask question. I've forgotten.
All right. If you have question. That guy, are you the one with the question?
Please, maybe I achieve that.
Hello, that guy. Can anybody hear him?
Yes, I'm speaking.
Okay, go ahead.
I want the last JS. That is for loop. For loop. Please, maybe I chief should go to the last JS. That is where my concern is. I want to see the code. We can point the questions out. Yeah. In this course, I realized that after you added equals to the code in line 31, we have let value equals to 0, then value less than length, then value plus plus. Then you later change it to less than or equal to, so that we can get the actual length, which is I think is 10.
Yes.
We can get 10. So I was like, in actual sense, in JavaScript, that is not 10 numbers, it is 11. So I believe, is it possible to change the length value when we are assigning the value to 0? Is it possible to change it to 1 to get the actual 10 instead of?
Yes, you can just come here and change it to 1. Then change it to 1, you are getting the actual value. So you change it to 1. So that is it. You change it to 1, you're getting the actual value. You use number to do that. You just use number. So if you want to get the actual value, you can only look 10, 1. So you start from 1 instead of 0. I get it. You start from 1 instead of 0, and so on and so forth. So basically, then that is it. So okay. Next person. Before we finalize with maths. Next person.
Well, that's the only question, sir.
All right. So let's move on. So what we are going to do next is maths, which is the last and not the least. Maths. Now, maths objects. Maths are objects in JavaScript. They are inbuilt they are inbuilt JavaScript objects that provide mathematical calculation and functions for performing operation. Of course, they are objects, right? They are objects. Object. When I mean the objects, you can access them through a property and a method directly without creating an instance. So we are going to be looking at the way in which we can perform different mathematical equations in JavaScript. Now let's say you want to get a maximum and a minimum number in a list, right? A maximum and minimum number in a list or in an array. This is how it look like. This is how it look like. Let's see. Oh God on. Let me get water. Please, I'll be back shortly. I'm having a headache. Okay. All right. So here we have the wallet. If we check this on our terminal, we notice that we are having this as 4. So this will round this up to the number that is either greater than or equals to the value. So if you come here and move this, change this to 299, right? This will round this to about 3. Yes, you can't
4.
go below. Is it 3 or 4?
It will be 4. It will be 4.
Okay, yeah, greater than.
Dealing we take it up.
Oh yeah.
Before take it all, the ceiling, it will round it up.
Yes, exactly.
5 and above rounds up to 1.
Yes, exactly.
Even if it is 3.1.
Yes, yeah, that's what C does. So C will move this to 1. Now let's look at floor. So the floor, what floor will does is, if it's floor, what the floor will does is that floor will run this down, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Yes,
floor will run this down. So if we come here and say, okay, let's call console dot log, and then we're having mass dot floor. So what floor will do is that the floor will return the largest integer that is lesser than or equal to the number. So the integer will be lesser than this. So we'll call the wallet balance, and then let's see what's going to happen. This will give you 3, right? So if they remember, floor will give you a number that is lesser than. Even though you have 999 this, and then we come here, it will still going to give you 3. So it will not go more than this. So you now understand this will give you a number that is larger than or equals to the value. Why this will give you a number that is lower than, lesser than, or equals to what? The value. So let's move on to the next one. So the next one we're having here is we've done floor. So let's move on to random, right? Let's move on to random. So what is the functionality of the random? So we are going to look at the random. Now the random will generate a random number from 0, right? From 0, a decimal number from 0. So we come here and call console dot log, then mass dot random. Then if you print this out, it will give you a number that starts from 0 point 0.1, 0 point d, 0.1 d. So this will give you a decimal point, a decimal number, right? This will give you what? A decimal number. So if we come here and you notice that this will give us a decimal number from 0.9. Now if you reload this, it will generate another number from 0.7. So for you to also generate an integer, right? For you to generate an integer, so what you are going to do is very simple. You can come in here and say this place. So if you want to also generate integer, I think what we need to do is come here. Is it +1? Okay.
Multiply by 100.
Multiply by 1.
Come here. Multiply by 1. So here, big times 1, right? So this times 1 will give us, will generate. I think that should be. Sorry, I'm coming. So, okay, let's see what's going to happen. So this will generate a decimal number from, I think that will start it from 1. That will start from 1. So let's see how we can get this. So what we're going to do here is let's create a variable so that we can be very explicit in what we are doing. Let's create a variable here and store this. So select random goes to copy this. All right. So what we are going to do is that we want to generate a number that is let's say a number that is I think we have this, right? I think this will generate or is it multiply? So let's print it and see what's going to happen.
I think it should be multiplied by 10.
I'm coming.
To give us a integer.
That one, if you want to generate from 10. So I want to generate an integer first. So let's check this out and see. Alright, here we generate a number from 1, right? So from 1 we still have this decimal. So for us to remove this decimal, the way of doing it, right? So here we generate a number from 1. 1 point this will give you 1.7, 1 point this. So if we want to generate an integer on this, so what we need to do to generate an integer, we can come in, hold on please. I think we can come in, to generate an integer, we need to use floor. We need to use a floor to convert this to a string. Remember that what floor does is that it round this up. So we look at here, we have this decimal. So we want to use floor to round it up to 1. Do you understand? Do you guys understand?
Yes, sir.
So we want to use floor to round this up to remove the decimal, right? So you remember the floor. In floor, we have this number, 3.9 this. It rounded up to 3. So what we are going to do is that inside here, what we are going to call in mass dot floor. Then we move this inside the floor. So what we are going to do here is to pass in, you can do multiply by 10, right? Sorry. Okay. So let's see what's going to happen. We come down here and you notice that we have it 1. So if you reload, we still have 1. So this, what the floor does is that the floor will convert whatever that is coming here to 1. So if you want to generate a random number, let's see, to generate a random number from 6 to 1, you use multiply by what? 6 or multiply by 10. So this will now give us a random number. So when you do next, let me see what is there. Alright, times, okay, so let's say multiply by 10. Let's see what's going to happen, because we are converting that 0, 6, 7. So this place will give us number from 1. This code will give us, will print number from 1 to 10. Are you getting me? So this will give us number from 1 to 10. So if we use 20, will give us number from 1 to what? To 20. So 13, when print it again, it print 2. When print it again, it print 0. So if we want to escape, if we want to skip 0,
it will be number from 0 to 19. To 20.
So if you want to skip 0, use +1. So that will skip 0 for you. So it will be 1 from 1 to 20. So this is it. So whenever I print it, this is what you are getting. Then we are skipping 0 entirely. So what is happening here is that we have marked the floor. So mark the floor, as we all are aware that random only generate decimal in decimal places, while we use flow to be able to convert it to an integer. And then this is that we multiply whatever that is being generated here to 20, which is, that will give us 20. Then for us to remove 0, to start from 1, you put +1. So basically that's what this code is all about. So any other question before we move on to the round? I think we've done absolute, we've done maximum and minimum, we've done absolute, we've done cell, we've done floor. Let's do the last one and not the least. They have a lot of them. Square root, power, raised to power. I don't want to use. I'm using the ones that we use often. That's what I'm using. So here you can also decide to generate like random number of 4, 20, 30. This, so you can generate random pin from here. When you come here and reload, you see, and reload. So this will generate random pin. If you want 4, it generate. If you want 3, it generate for you. So basically, so let's move on to next one, which is round, right? So let's look at the round. So the round object, so round object will return a value of a number rounded to the nearest integer. So to the nearest integer. So this different from seal and different from floor. So I will tell you the difference from them. So let's quickly come here and say let round equals to 3.2999. So like say round, what round does is that it will return a value of the number rounded to the nearest integer. So the nearest integer to this man is 3. So let's see what's going to happen. This will be converted to 3. Console dot log
3.3.
yes. So we have round mass dot round dot round. So here we have so if we print this, let's see what's going to get.
3.3.
Yeah,
3.
we are having 3. So it's not giving 3.3.
Okay.
So if we come here and put 5, 6, this nearest number to this is 4, right? So this will now move to 4. You can make use of this sometime when you are working with the money, financial application. Let's say you have your wallet balance, this. You understand? And we just need to just round it up to the nearest minute. So I think we have like power, square root, we have sin, we have log, we have express. So we have a lot of them, but these are the mostly used mass. So so today what we did was started from array, and from that array move to data type. So from the data type enter a data type, move into data types where we learn about different kind of data and their types. They move into for loop, move into max, switch statements. So basically that will be all for today. The assignment